The 15-time major golf champion at the single-vehicle crash was purely an accident. Woods recovering following surgery to repair significant leg injuries. Steelers team president Art Rooney says the team and Ben Roethlisberger want the quarterback to return for Pittsburgh next season. The sides met yesterday to address his contract, which carries a $41 million cap hit for next season. ESPN's Dan Graziano.
The amount of public discussion that Steelers executives have had about this contract tells me they are trying to make it very clear to the public and to their fans that Roethlisberger can only be on this team if he's willing to make certain sacrifices. And I think I'm very fascinated as someone who spends a lot of time studying the way NFL contracts and the salary cap work. I'm interested to see what form that ends up taking.
ESPN's Dan Graziano. Reigning AL MVP, White Sox slugger Jose Abreu, who has tested positive for COVID-19, will be away from the team for the next several days. He is asymptomatic.
New to the Wendy's 2 for $5 lineup is their classic chicken sandwich. So go grab a 2 for $5 deal and pick 2 faves, like a Dave single, spicy chicken sandwich, nugs, and now the classic chicken sandwich, 2 for just $5. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
The Brain.
And the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah.
Hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Feeling good.
It's hump day.
Better than LSU basketball.
Hump day.
Boy, did they suck last night.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU baseball's at ULL tonight.
It's hump day.
Yes, ULL tonight.
Hump day.
Not UL.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Not Louisiana.
It's hump day.
You don't get to make up what you're called.
Hump day.
You're ULL.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And you play LSU tonight in baseball.
It's hump day.
We'll talk bourbon with Taylor Calandro.
Hump day.
Rick Venturi next hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Did Rohan Davey's mother put a hex on the University of Tennessee athletics?
It's hump day.
Wait until you hear this.
Hump day.
All right, let's get to it. We got a lot to do today. LSU basketball. I think Will Wade said it best after the game last night. LSU loses to Georgia. He called it a complete embarrassment. Here was Coach Wade on the loss to Georgia.
Embarrassing performance. We got whipped every way we could get whipped. All of our poor habits came out. You know, they gave us a bunch of resistance. Give Georgia a ton of credit. Coach Crean, their staff, they had a great game plan. They were more physical. They beat us to loose balls. They played with better spirit than we did. And all systems break down, and as disappointing a night and as bad a night as we've had.
That's putting it accurately. LSU, to this point in the season, had avoided the bad loss. Every loss to this point in the season had been quad one. They were 3-6 in quad one games. All 6 losses, quad one. No bad losses. Going on the road, losing to Georgia by double digits is a bad loss. And maybe the really disappointing thing about this is it exposed, yet again, LSU's Achilles heel. Severe Wheeler was awesome. Severe Wheeler last night had the first triple-double in Georgia basketball history. It never happened before in the history of Georgia basketball. Happened last night. He had 14 points, 11 rebounds, and a career-high 13 assists. Severe Wheeler went off on LSU the first time. We've seen this happen. Sharif Cooper did it against LSU on Saturday. This is LSU's Achilles heel. It happened against Alabama twice as well. When LSU's season inevitably comes to an end, hopefully with a loss deep into the NCAA tournament, it's going to be because of something like this, their inability to stop guards from getting to the rim and finishing. LSU's not good defending off the dribble, and they don't have an eraser down low like Cavell Bigby Williams that can protect the rim. So when you have a guy like Severe Wheeler go off the way he did and you don't have an answer for it, it's what it is. Now, maybe the best option there is a guy I mentioned after Saturday, and that's Jalen Cook, but you're not going to take Javonte Smart or Cam Thomas off the floor, and Will Wade, to this point, doesn't seem to want to go with a three-guard lineup. So, okay, that's what it is. That's just how your season's going to end whenever it does inevitably end. Candidly, last night I was at S&P for the rare whiskey raffle, was following along the game as best I could. After we were done, I went back and sort of skimmed the first half, didn't even bother with the second half. LSU was down 16 at half. They never got it back to single digits. I think we kind of know what happened there. But for me, what was interesting is what happened at the 5:46 mark, where it was close until it was a 1-point game at the 5:46 mark. It was 24-23. And from that point on, in the remainder of the first half, Georgia went on a 21-6 run. 21-6 run. Here were LSU's possessions. Trendon Watford turnover. Cam Thomas missed jumper. Cam Thomas split a pair of free throws. Darius Days misses a three. Josh LeBlanc misses a jumper. Trendon Watford misses a jumper. Javonte Smart turnover. Trendon Watford turnover. Cam Thomas misses a jumper. Javonte Smart turnover again. Then Javonte made a three and Cam Thomas made a jumper. That's a whole lot of inefficient trips down the floor. And what LSU needed to do against a Georgia team that wanted to run, that thrives in transition, was be really effective in the half court. Make baskets, and then make Georgia go the length and set up in half-court offense. Don't give them the opportunity to run, which is what they want to do, and that's what Severe Wheeler did really well last night, and really all of Georgia did really well last night. Georgia didn't even shoot it great last night. That's the super disappointing thing. It wasn't like they absolutely tore it up shooting the ball from three. Like, Bama had that torrid game from three the first time these two teams played, where they set the SEC record for made three-pointers in a game. Georgia last night, when you look at their shooting statistics overall, they were pretty good from the field. Georgia was 46% from the floor. They were only 29% from three. They were 9 of 31. It wasn't like they tore it up. They just got easy buckets in transition. That's what they do. So that's a bummer that it happened. If there is a silver lining, it's this. LSU's net ranking only dropped one spot. They went from 28 to 29. Last night doesn't kill you. You're still very much squarely in the tournament. Now, if you go lose to Arkansas and lose to Vandy, and you're one and done in the SEC tournament, you finish on a 4-game losing streak with 2 or 3 bad losses, then you're holding your breath on Selection Sunday. You're probably out. Right now, they're still firmly in, but the objective is play for seeding. Get off that 8-9 line. Give yourself the best opportunity to play into the second weekend. And last night hurt. But the net only dropped a spot, and we've already seen LSU bounce back from adversity. That stretch where they lost 4 out of 5, where they got blown out by Bama, had, to that point, the worst game of the season against Kentucky. They beat A&M, and then they peed down their leg against Texas Tech, and then lost again to Bama. That was the worst stretch of the season. They had lost 4 out of 5. Everyone was dogpiling them, wondering if, should Will Wade be fired? Are they going to make the tournament? I mean, that was the conversation many of you were having. And then they bounced back and won 3 in a row and looked pretty good doing it. And they solidified their spot in the tournament and elevated their seeding. And last night's disappointing. We have seen, though, when LSU's faced adversity or faced the best teams on their schedule, they've played better. They played really strong on the road at Florida. They played really well at home against Tennessee and got a win. They played really well at home against Texas Tech for 39 minutes. They just gagged away a 7-point lead in the last minute of the game. So I think they're going to go on the road to Arkansas and play their best basketball on Saturday. I mean, Will Wade will have no problem getting their attention, should have no problem getting their attention after last night's loss. So you're going to play Arkansas, a team you played once and beat by 16. Pretty good matchup. See if you can go on the road, get another quad one road win, another quality win, get your feel good back, beat a bad Vanderbilt team next week in Baton Rouge, see if the SEC adds another game before you go play the SEC tournament, see if you can play yourself back into a higher seed. It's still there for you. Last night is massively disappointing, but it's not crushing. And I think LSU is better than what they showed last night. But what Georgia exposed is LSU's Achilles heel. And when the season ends, it's going to be because of a team like that does that, because LSU doesn't have an answer for that. They didn't have an answer when Bama did it to them twice. They haven't an answer when Georgia's done it to them twice. And yes, they beat Georgia the first time, but that was a 94-92 game, if you remember, where Georgia had a big lead and LSU got back in it at the free throw line because Cam Thomas made 15 of 16. So it was a terrible night, man. They were bad shooting. They were bad in transition. They turned the ball over. There were lazy passes. Everything Will Wade said was right. It was just an awful performance for LSU. So flush it, move on. You got a great opportunity Saturday against Arkansas. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email the show, matt@1045espn.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona, jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat, or you can text me. Remember, we have our text platform now, which comes directly to my phone. I'm the only one that sees it. In the 225. It's 396-4400, 396-4400. Save that number in your phone. Text me during the show or anytime, 225-396-4400. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. And we do have a ton of Saints to talk about. Rick Venturi is going to be with us next hour. We'll talk Pels as Zion is an all-star. When we come back, though, let's preview a little bit of the LSU baseball game, which we're a little less than 3 hours from first pitch there in Lafayette. Preview Tigers and Cajuns when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. They're online at lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net. I cannot stress this to you enough. So many people, especially amid the COVID-19 shutdown, are finding ways to benefit or improve their financial circumstance. Well, one of those could be insurance. We all have insurance. We all have to pay for insurance. And with COVID-19, so many of us saw insurance rate increases. If that was you, even if it wasn't, it's a great time to shop. Now, you can call dozens of companies yourself and see who can give you the best coverage, or you can let Insurance Network of Louisiana do it for you. They have relationships with dozens of the top-rated companies in the world who compete to get you the best coverage for the best price. 293-0450. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU baseball on the road for the first time this season tonight in Lafayette against ULL. Need a place to watch that game, you can watch at Pluckers. Remember, every baseball game all throughout the college baseball season you can watch at either Pluckers location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. So if you don't have ESPN Plus, get by. Of course, you can listen on Eagle 98.1. So LSU, ULL, this is interesting. It's a series that throughout history LSU has dominated. All time they're 55-27. Tigers have won 15 of the last 23 and 5 of the last 8, but ULL has actually won the last 3. ULL has won 3 in a row against LSU, including 2 games back in 2019. The teams didn't play last year in the COVID-shortened season. It's going to be Garrett Edwards against Connor Cook, little thumbnail on each. Of course, Edwards, we saw pitch in LSU's season opener. When Jaden Hill was lifted, Edwards was the first out of the bullpen of the season. 6'5", freshman from Pitkin, who I didn't know where Pitkin was, but if you remember, J.C. Holt was with us on Friday, former Tiger center fielder. J.C. Holt was Garrett Edwards' high school coach. Edwards was the Class B player of the year in both baseball and basketball, had a game where he scored 62 in basketball. So great athlete. And first out of the pen on Saturday through 1 inning, 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. He's impressive, y'all, as a physical specimen, an athlete on the bump at 6'5". And look, he may not light it up at 95, 96, but when you're 6'5", and when he comes with a really strange release point, if you watch him throw, it's almost like a football toss where he comes back to the ear and then has sort of a whip instead of an all-the-way back rotation. It's different. But when you have a different release, when you have obviously different arm angles, when you're 6'5", and you're releasing the ball closer to home plate, 90-91 may actually seem to the batter like 93-94. So that's going to benefit him. Mostly, I love going on the road for these in-season, in-state midweek games. I love them going on the road. It doesn't do LSU, in my opinion, a whole lot of good staying at the box, playing in front of a friendly crowd on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. I want the team to get uncomfortable. And don't get me wrong, I understand why you play all those games at home. You have a $40 million stadium with suites and club seats and season tickets sold, and you don't make money if you don't play games in that stadium. So I understand it completely. There are financial reasons why you play all those games at home. But just competitively, I love LSU going on the road. I love taking Garrett Edwards as a freshman and saying, you know what, this kid's 6'5". He can throw it north of 90. We think he's got really good stuff. threw him out there at the box opening weekend. He passed that test. Let's see how he does when we take him to someone else's park, when the fans aren't cheering for him, when he's out there in the bottom of the first instead of the top of the first, and he's up there with no parachute, with no safety net. He's the guy in a foreign territory, which you're going to feel on the road in the SEC. So you're trying to learn, can I trust this kid in that situation? Like, I know AJ Labus can do it. I know Devin Fontenot and Matthew Beck can do it. I've seen Trent Vittmeyer. I've seen these guys do it their whole career. Can Garrett Edwards do it? Let's find out. You don't have this opportunity if you don't go play on the road. So I love that they're packing up and going to play this game on the road. I love that LSU does this. And as an aside, also, it's great for all the other baseball programs in the state. I mean, I know it's different this year with COVID because attendance isn't going to be what it normally is, but generally, programs like ULL or McNeese or Southern or Southeastern or Tech or ULM or Nichols or UNO, a lot of times they'll make their budget playing LSU once at their field because they know all the LSU fans will come. They'll pack it out. They'll sell a bunch of tickets. It'll be a big event. They'll make a ton of money. It's great. It's a great thing all the way around. So I want to see Garrett Edwards tonight, obviously. I want to see Jordan Thompson at third. Maneri said, obviously, he's going to start Thompson again at third base after Will Helmers had a rough couple of days to start the season. Helmers has moved back to pitcher. They'll start Jordan Thompson at third. I want to see if Thompson can hit. Now, the first time we saw Jordan Thompson this year, on Sunday, in relief of Helmers, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and looked really bad. On Monday against Tech, 1 for 3, a homer and a walk. So which Jordan Thompson is going to be the one with a larger sample size that plays out? That's what I want to see. Because we know Jordan Thompson has a glove at third. Can he hit as well? And if he can, then you've answered that question. Now, Maneri also said when he met with the media that he's going to platoon in center with Gio out. He'll have Will Safford and Mitchell Sanford. Mitchell Sanford got the start on Monday. Let's see if it's Sanford or Safford. That's going to be confusing all year, y'all, especially with Matt Stafford. We have a Sanford, a Safford, and then there's Matt Stafford as well, who doesn't play for LSU, but at one point played against LSU and is now still in the NFC. Never mind. Let's see which guy in center can hit. And if one of those guys ends up hitting, when Gio gets back, he may not have a spot. I mean, I hate to think someone loses a job due to injury, but I know all those guys can play center field. I know with Dylan Cruz in right or left, wherever they play him, you're fine there because he can run. I mean, you're going to have a really good defensive outfield no matter what combination you use of Cruz or Dugas or Beloso or Safford or Sanford or Gio when he's back. I mean, you're going to be good out there. So who can hit? That's really the question. Two other things that I'm interested in seeing tonight with LSU baseball at ULL, 6 o'clock first pitch. Connor Cook is going to start for the Cajuns tonight. And Connor Cook did pitch for ULL on the opening weekend. Actually, the opening game of the season, he threw in relief and took the loss in relief on their season opener. ULL went and played Tulane in New Orleans in a 3-game series. All 3 games went to extra innings, and they won 2 out of 3. They lost the opener, and it was Cook who took the loss. In that game in relief, he threw 2 1/3, struck out 5, but walked 5 as well. He currently has a 7.71 ERA. Now, he gave up 3 runs, but I didn't give up 7 runs. He gave up 3 runs, but still, in 2 1/3 to give up 3 runs and a walk 5, if you're LSU, the hitters tonight, you have to have plate discipline in that approach, knowing that this is a guy who his first outing of this year showed he struggled to throw the ball over the plate. So make him throw you strikes tonight. So let's see if this LSU offense can get going against a pitcher that really struggled in his only appearance this season. And then the other thing is you're going to have a couple of former Tigers on the field tonight for the Cajuns. Brendan Breaux obviously plays for ULL, and also C.J. Willis. If you remember, Willis is a really impressive athlete, man, and he's a guy that looks like a 5-tool guy that has pro prospect written all over him. And in the opening weekend, C.J. Willis batted .500 in the opening weekend against Tulane. he was 5 of 10 from the plate. A double, a triple, 2 RBI, and 5 runs scored. Brennan Breaux, the other kid, who couldn't hack it at LSU, hit 400 for the series, 4 for 10, with a double, 3 RBI, and a run scored. So a couple of former Tigers are going to be roaming the outfield against LSU tonight. I assume Willis will be in the outfield. He could be at first base, but C.J. Willis will be in the lineup, as will Brennan Breaux. A couple of former LSU Tigers now playing for the Cajuns will be going against LSU. For the life of me, I don't know how LSU couldn't find a spot in the field for C.J. Willis, as good of an athlete and player as he is. But you have to face him tonight. So LSU and ULL, 6 o'clock first pitch, so we're about 2 hours and 35 minutes away. We are going to go over to Teague Moore Field to start hour 3 when we're inside of an hour from first pitch. At that point, the lineup should be set. Wilson Alexander, the Advocate's going to join us again to start hour 3. Give us a scene setter and a last look at that ball game here coming up a bit later in the show. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. That's our friends over at GMFS Mortgage. Home buy, refi, construction loans, GMFSmortgage.com. That's where you got to go, GMFSmortgage.com. Offices all over the state of Louisiana. Remember that. So no matter where you are, there's a local loan officer nearest you. But they're also doing great work at GMFS Mortgage at helping small businesses come back amid the COVID-19 pandemic as well. They are, GMFS Mortgage right now currently has its Go Local campaign. If you go to the website at gmfsmortgage.com, you'll see it right there on the homepage. It's the Go Local campaign where they're giving you the opportunity to win your share of $10,000 worth of Visa gift cards. All you have to do is go to the website, gmfsmortgage.com, tap the Go Local tab right there on the main flipper, and then you'll see all the information, how you can enter to win your share of $10,000 of Visa gift cards, and they've included local businesses in the greater Baton Rouge area. So check it out at gmfsmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, Taylor Calandro with Bourbon Dictionary is coming up here in about 18 minutes from right now. We will go around the SEC when we come back. We'll have a full night of basketball tonight, both in the SEC and in the NBA. The Pels are back on the hardwood. We will get some Zion conversation in as well. If you missed it, Zion has been named an NBA All-Star alternate, or a backup. So congrats to Zion on his first All-Star appearance. Much deserved. Something we'll talk about coming up in hour 2. Glad you're here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of buying a home, you know what to do. Call Darren James. I tell you every day to call Darren James, get your home sold. But if you're buying a home, call Darren James as well. The market right now is such a seller's market. So don't go into that process without a realtor on your side. Call Darren James. When Erica and I bought the current home we're in, Darren was the realtor who represented us. And we knew the neighborhood we wanted to be in. And at the time, there was very limited inventory. Darren organized a campaign where he asked every homeowner in that neighborhood, asked them all, even if their home wasn't listed, if they'd be willing to sell. It's amazing the lengths Darren James will go to make his clients thrilled. So if you're selling your home, of course, call Darren James. But if you're buying a home, don't go through that process without the expertise of a realtor. Call Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Glad you're cruising with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. We'll do Bourbon Dictionary. Get your questions in for Taylor by texting me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. How about a hug for Ravens coach John Harbaugh? There was an event that they were having at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore called Jimmy's Seafood. And WJZ Television in Baltimore reported that Harbaugh quietly paid for dinner for everyone in the restaurant. Apparently, Harbaugh was there for a charity fundraiser, and Jimmy's Seafood has been, I'm reading all this from the story, has been a great boon to the Baltimore area for restaurants and bars that have struggled being shut down amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Jimmy's has organized fundraisers that have generated more than $430,000 raised for bars and restaurants in Baltimore. So Harbaugh was doing his part, participating. He ends up at Jimmy's Seafood and decides, hey, I'm going to take care of the bill for everybody in the restaurant. Apparently, before he even did that, very generous, took pictures with every fan, every staff member who asked him to. And as he was leaving, Harbaugh said it was his wife's idea. His wife, Ingrid, it was her idea to pick up everybody's check. So the total bill wasn't revealed, but it was more than $2,000 that he picked up, which may not seem like an exorbitant sum for a coach that makes millions of dollars a year, but that's irrelevant. The numbers shouldn't be in any way quantifiably relevant. It's more the gesture and the willingness to do that. So good on John Harbaugh, the Ravens head coach, John Harbaugh, for picking up dinner for all the families eating at Jimmy's Seafood in Baltimore last night. Really cool thing to do at a time when everybody could use a little help and a little bit of a pick-me-up. So that is really cool. Brain, we need a poll question for the day. You got any ideas for poll questions today?
No, because I don't want to go heavy on the LSU basketball and the tournament projections. We've already done that.
How about will LSU baseball win tonight?
I mean, I could do that. That doesn't sound very exciting, but okay.
How many runs scored? 1, 2, 3, 4 or more.
For LSU?
Yeah.
Or for ULL?
Who cares about ULL? Lola.
Well, I know I don't, but
Yeah.
Can I just continue to work on it? I'll have something for you by 4.
All right. Citizens Bank poll question of the day. We'll come up with something before too long. We'll go around the SEC in a second. Remind you about mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net. Been telling you about it. NASA-developed technology. It's been around for more than a decade. Obviously, it's becoming very functional now amid COVID. It's a purifier that cleanses both air and surfaces. If you're in studio or if you're watching us, the one I have here, look, it's about the size of my cell phone. This is the Fresh Air Mobile. It's about the size of a cell phone. It can purify up to 500 square feet. Perfect for a room like our studio, for your office, for a hotel room. You could plug it into your cigarette lighter in your car and run it while you're in your vehicle. It's constantly purifying the air. Listen, we've had businesses like Pluckers, Finbomb, Guarantee Media has these, Gatorworks, Pilates Plus, Raffinos, Neurotherapy Specialists, businesses all over the greater Baton Rouge area. The Fresh Air Mobile is going to run you $199. They do have units, the Air and Surface Pro, which can service up to 3,000 square feet. That's what a lot of the restaurants have. MyCleanLiving.net, they've got financing available as well. If you need multiple units and you're not in a position to pay cash up front, check them out online, MyCleanLiving.net. Purify the air and surfaces, not just from COVID, y'all, but keep in mind, this is the thing we did with Terrio the other day. It can extract odor. So if you're a restaurant with grease smells, if you're a gym with sweat smells, if you're maybe you have, like, I don't mean to be funny with this, but like elderly people where sometimes you have a stale smell, it'll freshen that up. Smokers, if you want to eliminate that odor from your home. If you have pets that stink up your house, this is a great way to do it as well. And it's not just COVID also, it's strep and flu and all other types of viruses and bacteria. Have a cleaner living space. MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Florida Gators.
Trey Mann scored 19.16 in the first half. Also grabbed 13 boards. Florida just overwhelmed Auburn in Auburn on Tuesday night, 74-57. Big story from Auburn's side is that Sharif Cooper did not play. Injured ankle. It was announced right before tip-off that the 5-star phenom freshman would not go. So Auburn falls to 5-10. Florida improves to 8-5 in the conference. Florida's won 13 of the last 15 in this series. Florida is at Kentucky on Saturday while Auburn hosts Tennessee.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
New contract for Alabama basketball coach Nate Oates was announced last week. Now we know the terms of the deal. 6-year deal worth a total of $19.4 million. Annual compensation up from 2.4 to 3.2 when Oates initially signed the deal when he joined Bama from Buffalo in 2019. Oates would have a massive buyout if he leaves in the first 3 years. $12 million after this year, $9.8 million after next year, $6.9 million after the third year of the deal, then drops to $2.4 million, then no buyout each of the last 2 years of the deal.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy's losing its leading rusher to the transfer portal. Running back Keon Henry Brooks has announced he's leaving Vanderbilt, actually the second running back to transfer out of Vandy this offseason. He joins Jamari Wakefield. Of course, Clark Lee is the new head coach at Vanderbilt, replacing Derek Mason. Henry Brooks will have 2 years of eligibility left wherever he lands. Signed with the Commodores back in 2019 as a 3-star prospect out of Georgia.
The Texas A&M Aggies.
And Texas A&M officials are planning for a full Kyle Field for the 2021 football season. That, according to Athletic Director Ross Bjork, who made that announcement on Tuesday during a Facebook Live town hall meeting. A&M was at 25% capacity last year, actually led the nation in college football attendance last season, and had 4 of the top 5 highest attended football games. Bjork did say face coverings and other specifications could still be required in 2021, depending on the progress of the current vaccination efforts. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. That is great news, though. A&M, and you're starting to hear more of that, right? We talked about it earlier this week that the NFL has set its salary cap with the expectation of having 75% capacity league-wide in 2021. So that's not just wishful thinking. When you're actually setting a budget and you're talking about money, you have to do that relative to what you're projecting your business to earn, your revenue. So the A&M setting essentially their budget saying, we think, the NFL thinking we're going to have 75% capacity across the board. Some states maybe less, like Florida or New York or California or New York, which have been slower to progress. Others like Florida and Texas have been super aggressive. You'd expect they're going to be at full capacity. Now you're hearing Power 5 athletic directors saying we expect to be at full capacity next year. That's great news. That's great progress that we're continuing to see. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Rick Venturi, a little less than an hour from right now, former Saints assistant and one-time Saints interim head coach, now does work with the Colts Radio Network. Rick Venturi is going to join us. I want to ask him his thoughts on Carson Wentz, of course, going to Indy. But we'll have a NFL-wide conversation with a longtime NFL assistant, Rick Venturi, who's going to join us at the bottom of next hour. So about 50 minutes or so from right now. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, our buddy Taylor Calandro joins us. It is a Whiskey Wednesday. Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's got booze questions. Ask him here. It's AFR presented by Plucker. Stick around.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Corolla for $235 per month. That's right, $235 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. We're brought to you by Pluckers, and glad to have you hanging out here. Taylor Calandro joins us as he does every Wednesday on a Whiskey Wednesday to answer your booze questions. This started during quarantine, and I'll be darned if we just haven't kept on doing it. How are you, dude?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Let's just dive right into questions. We got a bunch of them. A lot of people texting their questions in the 225. Do you know I have a new text line?
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw it.
Why haven't you joined my text line?
Well, for reasons that I probably can't say.
Why?
What's on the text line?
I mean, you can just text the show. You can text me anytime, all that sort of stuff.
I'll do that as soon as we get off the phone.
Okay. 225-396-4400. Loyal Duet asks, a question for Bourbon Dictionary. What do you think of Redwood Empire's Lost Monarch as a daily sipper? Ever had it?
I have not. We carry 3 of their whiskeys. I haven't tried any of their stuff though. I'm interested, but I haven't got the chance to try them yet.
Okay.
They seem kind of pricey for daily sippers to me though.
How much are they?
I think they're in the $60-$70 range, but
yeah, that's probably if you're a daily sipper is $60-$70.
Hey, more power to you.
I want to be friends with you. What's a good value whiskey for a Crown Royal drinker? That's from Daniel Hansen.
Good value whiskey for try a different Canadian, maybe a Pendleton, or if you can find it, a Caribou Crossing. I mean, Caribou's a little pricey, but I think Caribou's great, and it comes from Sazerac.
What do you think about Caribou? And it's 80 proof. It's like, you're right. It's a light, very palatable, drinkable Canadian whiskey. But they're really trying to recreate Blanton's there. It seems with the packaging.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's a Caribou. It looks just like a Blanton's bottle, except it's got blue wax stripping. It's made by the same people. It's made by your people. So, what do I think about it? I think it's great, and it's just about as hard to get as Blanton's. But yeah, man. And what people look for in a Canadian whiskey is usually really mellow, some sweetness, light. That's a typical Canadian whiskey.
Let's see. We get this one like every week, but ask Taylor, for someone who does not drink whiskey straight, what's a good starter whiskey?
Basil Hayden. I will always say Basil Hayden, or something a little sweeter, on the sweeter side. If you can find it, like a 1792 sweet wheat, something lower proof is definitely more approachable.
Taylor Calandro's with us. Get your questions in. You can email Matt at 1045ESPN.com. Tweet us at Matt Moscona. Jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat or text me. Here's Logan Simino via text. Said, hey, where can I get some nice whiskey to pay back my dad for all the bottles I took in high school?
Oh, man. If you could go back in time, you probably wouldn't have taken those bottles. I can guarantee some of them. But you can come to Calandro Supermarket.
Jack Davis said, if you retire tomorrow, what whiskey are you opening up?
Probably some form of an older Scotch. I would say like a Port Ellen 32-year or a Calandro 30-year, something super expensive.
Christopher Holloway, younger brother's birthday is coming up. He's a bit of a whiskey snob. So what's a real good $75 to $100 bottle?
Our Jefferson's double cask finish is really, really good for $75-$80.
Is that a barrel pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically the same process as like a Maker's 46, where they age it in new charred white oak barrels for a certain amount of time, and they switch it. And Jefferson's has this proprietary method that they're using now, where they groove the staves of the barrel to incorporate more flavor into it.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is Danny Riggs, who said, thoughts on Sugarfield Spirits and Gonzales. He says, I love their stuff personally.
Man, I'm glad I got asked this question. I went out to Sugarfield a few months ago. It's some good guys, Andrew and his brother. I can't remember his brother's name, but they're doing some good stuff over there. They're doing a lot of sourcing from MGP right now, so their whiskey's 4 or 5 years old. But they're also distilling a lot of stuff too. They've got a good guy over there. I can't remember the distiller's name, but he's got a good bit of experience with it. But I think they're going in the right direction with what they're doing.
I had some Sugarfield Spirit last night. We were doing the raffle over at S&P.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know which one. David Steele from Bourbonside of Baton Rouge opened it up. And I never had it before, Taylor. And the nose was so sweet and pleasant. It really blew me away. I didn't know what to expect. I'll tell you what I expected. You know this, but there have been some Louisiana distilleries that haven't necessarily produced the best stuff.
Absolutely. That's a nice way to put it.
So I was very skeptical and really pleasantly surprised at how pleasant the nose was and how tasty it was. I mean, I will go. How much is that? How much do y'all sell? I assume you carry it, Calandro. So how much you sell for?
I can't remember how much the Sugarfield is. I think it's in the $50 range.
I was hoping you were going to say 35, but okay. I might spend 50.
It might be. I don't know off the top of my head. But like I said, they're doing it right. They have sourced the current whiskey juice that they use is 4 or 5 year old from MGP, which is just a contract distiller. We've talked about it on this segment before. And until they get juice old enough that they've distilled and aged to put out in the market, which I think is the right way to do things.
Jeremy Norris, does Calandro's carry Hochstadter's Rock and Rye in store?
We've been having some issues getting that, and that's basically a rye cocktail in a bottle. We do have the little mini cans. They have little mini cans of that stuff. But as far as the fifths, we've been having a tough time getting that lately. I don't know why.
They have an 80 proof, which is like the black label, and then 100 proof, which is the orange label. Taylor, it's weird. It almost tastes like an old fashioned in a glass or in a bottle. And you wouldn't think that you'd like, if you were someone like you or me that you'd like it. Not to sound snobby or anything, but it's really, really good.
Well, and the reason you said it is because it's a pre-made thing, and yada yada yada. You think it's cheaply done, and we're being snobbish about it. But there are good products that are pre-made in the bottle that you don't have to do anything with.
Yeah.
That will suffice for sure.
We got about a minute, maybe blow and go a little fast here. Ask Taylor, best entry Scotch.
Best entry Scotch. If you haven't drank Scotch before, a Highland malt or a Speyside or something like that.
A comp for McKenna 10 single barrel to get my brother for his birthday, since that's what he got me. Said I'm sure you could answer it, but just giving content. Appreciate that, Travis.
A comp. Eagle Rare, if you can find it.
Let's see. Allison said lowest sugar bourbon for a low-cal old-fashioned. That's a good question.
I have no earthly idea because bourbon is a lot of sugar.
Do you know what my answer would be? You're
vodka.
drinking an old-fashioned. Forget about low sugar. Just blow it out the water, man. Just blow it out the water.
Any kind of spirit, it's hard to escape sugar.
Yeah. My God, there's just a bajillion questions. I'm fired. Last one from Darren. Japanese whiskeys worth trying? If so, where to start?
Love Japanese whiskey. Try an Hibiki, or if you can find a Yamazaki. Japanese whiskey is like if Scotch and bourbon had a baby.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's, 2 locations in Baton Rouge, and with us every Wednesday. Thank you, dude.
All right, man. Thanks.
Appreciate you. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out. LSU baseball, 2 hours and 5 minutes from first pitch. Need a place to watch? Get by Pluckers. Hour 2 is next.
AFR.
Let 2021 be the year you see 2020. Let 2021 be the year you go to the Williamson Eye Center and see Dr. Blake Williamson. That you do what I did when I went and had my LASIK done almost 3 years ago. That you do what Kayla Von Chasson did, and Devin White did, and Warren Morris did, and what Daniel Cabrera is doing this week, which is go have LASIK at the Williamson Eye Center. Or maybe you're beyond the point of having LASIK. Like my dad, who's almost 70 years old, had RK back in the early 90s. Not a candidate for LASIK. He had a lens replacement procedure that the Williamson Eye Center offers. Same with Jimmy Ott, who had a similar procedure done as well. Paul Maneri had a similar procedure done. Listen, there's a reason all these people trust the Williamson Eye Center, because Dr. Blake Williamson and the staff over there are just the best. If you want to live your life without contacts or glasses, there is a way to do it. Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Sean Ryder. Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva says that Tiger Woods was not impaired during the rollover that seriously injured the 15-time major golf champion, and that the single vehicle crash was purely an accident. Woods recovering following surgery to repair significant leg injuries. Steelers President Art Rooney and Ben Roethlisberger had a meeting yesterday, and the sides both want the quarterback to return to play for Pittsburgh next season, but the team wants to work out his contract. That's a $41 million cap hit. ESPN's Keyshawn Johnson.
I don't know that there are better options out there for Pittsburgh right now today. I don't see it, right? Your Matt Ryans and Deshaun Watsons, those are dreams. You're not getting Aaron Rodgers.
Keyshawn Johnson on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zub. In NHL, Montreal has dropped 6 of their last 8 and have fired head coach Claude Julien. Dominic Ducharme takes over as Canadiens head coach on an interim basis. And ESPN TV, an app NBA doubleheader tonight, starting with Golden State and Indiana. Coverage starts 7 p.m. Eastern.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. 30 minutes from right now, former Saints assistant, now doing work with the Colts radio network. Rick Venturi will be here. Talk some NFL. 1 hour from right now, we'll head over to Lafayette. Teague Moore Field, LSU, Tigers and Cajuns tonight. Great opportunity for LSU to go on the road, see what some of their young guys have in their first road experience. So we'll do that with Wilson Alexander about an hour from right now. Hope you're having an awesome day. Really good news as 247 has updated their rankings. Offensive lineman Will Campbell out of Monroe, Neville, is a 5-star, as is LSU quarterback commitment Walker Howard. So 2 newly minted 5-stars from Louisiana for the class of 2022. Of course, class that'll sign in December, which will include Walker Howard, who is now the number 2 pro-style quarterback in the country and is the number 21 overall prospect in the country in the latest rankings. So after his first season starting there at St. Thomas More, where he threw for 3,400 yards, 42 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions, had offers from everybody, committed over the summer to LSU. Walker Howard is now a 5-star. And it was interesting because I started thinking sort of about context with respect to that, with Howard being a 5-star quarterback committed to LSU. And the last time LSU had a 5-star quarterback committed or signed was Russell Shepard. Now, Shep was an athlete and didn't play quarterback at LSU, so that's sort of a little bit of an asterisk. The actual true quarterback, the last 5-star quarterback that signed with LSU was Ryan Perrilloux in 2005. Talking 17 years. Like, let that sink in for a second. 17 years between 5-star quarterbacks in Louisiana. And 17 years between 5-star quarterbacks that signed with LSU. I guess I shouldn't say in Louisiana because Shea Patterson was also and didn't come to LSU. But that signed with LSU. And Patterson was a little bit of an asterisk as well, as a guy who was really from Texas or out of state. It's really exciting to think about the future of the quarterback position at LSU. I know we've talked about it before, but it came to light again today because Howard's committed. He got his 5th star. And this also happened to be a day where if you peruse ESPN.com on their college football page, the headline on their college football page today, like the top of the page, is ranking college football's 25 best quarterback situations over the next 3 seasons. So they took a look at the next 3 years, ranking the 1 to 25, the best quarterback situations. So for 21, 22, and 23. So for me, it was going to be interesting to see where LSU fell in this mix. Maybe not surprising. They've got Oklahoma number 1, as you know, they've just churned out Heisman Trophy winner or finalist one after another. And Spencer Rattler does, of course, return. So Oklahoma was number 1. Clemson followed at number 2, as they're not returning Trevor Lawrence, but DJ Uiagalelei was pretty impressive in relief of Lawrence while he was out with COVID this year. They got the Trojans at number 3. Keaton Slovis is the returning starter, and they've got some other highly coveted prospect coming up behind him as well. And then Alabama they actually have at number 4, which makes a little sense considering that you've got Bryce Young waiting there in the wings as a redshirt freshman who's got plenty of eligibility and time over these next 3 years. But it takes a while before they get to LSU. Bama's at 4, Georgia's at 6, Florida's at 8, A&M's at 12, and then LSU doesn't make the list of the best quarterback situations for the next 3 seasons until number 15. So there are 4 SEC programs ahead of LSU in these rankings. Now, in some respect, I think this is fair because, bear with me, because you're talking about Brennan Finley Johnson and some combination thereof, very likely for the next 3 years, however that plays out. And Brennan, while a lot of people here are optimistic and hopeful, the reality is Miles Brennan started 3 games in his career. And yeah, he had a 400-yard game against Missouri when he got hurt, but he looked like not great against Mississippi State in the opener. And really, it was the running game against Vanderbilt that got going. So we don't have a big sample size. TJ Finley actually has more starts than Miles Brennan. And both he and Max Johnson had hot and cold moments. So you've got 3 guys that have played, but none that have played at a tremendous high level for an extended period of time. So I kind of understand it. But what's going to be really interesting, actually, is not this list now for the next 3 years, 21, 2, 3, however that shapes out. My hope is, if Miles comes back and has an awesome season or one of the young guys emerge and they have that position for the next 3 years, that'd be awesome. But really what's going to be interesting is when you start talking about 2023 to 2026. Because then you're talking about whatever combination of Johnson, Finley at the end of their career and Nussmeier, Walker Howard, and very likely either Arch Manning or Eli Holstein. Now you're talking about this glut of 5-star or highly rated 4-star prospects in that quarterback room. Now you're talking about the embarrassment of riches largely with in-state kids. And the last time that LSU had a run like that, like what you could see in this transitional period in the next 3 to 5 years, Johnson, Finley, Nussmeier, Howard, Manning, or Holstein, whichever one of those guys you land, is when you went from Mock to Russell to Flynn to Perilou. And that is one of the biggest, I'm going to flatly say this. That is the biggest what if in LSU football history, is what if Ryan Perilou had not gotten kicked off the team, gotten kicked off of campus. The entire shape of LSU football changed with that. You were at a time where you were still closely removed from a national championship. Jamarcus was the number 1 pick overall. You win a national championship in 2007, so 2 titles in 4 seasons, and then, or in 5 seasons in 4 years, but 2 titles, you have the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. Gary Croton was there. He was the wizard. And now you're transitioning to Perilou, a 5-star. And then it wasn't Perilou. It was Hatch and Lee and the interceptions, and then the offense. Les went so conservative with the offense, and that was LSU for a decade. It's really the biggest what if ever, and this almost feels like it could be LSU's opportunity at a do-over. Of what that looked like then, you're 20 years removed, going to recreate it and see what it would look like if you manage that situation properly. It's exciting to think. Congrats to Walker Howard. Today got his 5th star in the 247 composite, the number 21 overall prospect in the country. Also, congrats to Will Campbell, the big offensive lineman out of Neville, also an LSU commit, who got his 5th star. And the hope is a guy like that could be Walker Howard's blindside protector for 4 years. I mean, you hope that's one of those guys that steps on campus day one as your left tackle and holds that down for 4 years. It would be sensational if it would play out that way. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at shawbillstire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Of course, if your vehicle had any issues as a result of the freeze last week, find the Shawbills location nearest you at shawbillstire.com. You don't know where the nearest location is? No worries. Go to shawbillstire.com. Top right, find a location. Just hit that tab, and then boom, they're all right there. At all of their 17 locations across South Louisiana. The Burbank locations, Booty, Port Allen, they're all over South Louisiana. So find the location nearest you at shawbillstire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, it's After Further Review. Zion is an all-star. And the Pels are back on the floor tonight. Some NBA talk when we come back. Rick Venturi at the bottom of this hour. Wilson Alexander next hour. And Rohan Davey. We have got a jam-packed show. I'm glad you're with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 a month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All-Star Reserve. Zion Williamson, his first All-Star game, leads the NBA in points in the paint, 5th in field goal percentage, 25.1 points per game. He has 5 30-point games this month alone.
That's how it sounded on TNT last night. Zion announced as an All-Star, his first All-Star appearance. Congrats to Zion Williamson on a much-deserved All-Star nod. As a random aside, the NBA on TNT continues to be the best thing on sports television. Last night after the Nuggets game, they were interviewing Joker live on TV, and Shaq was getting his phone to translate a question into, you know where Jokic's from, Serbia, or into Serbian. It's the best thing on TV. Anyway, congrats to Zion. Earns an All-Star nod. Completely 100%, 100,000,000% deserved. When I look at Zion, especially considering he's still only in his first full season. I mean, I know last year was a full season, but it was broken with the way that they went to the bubble and everything. Like, this is his first 1-82 full season, and there are already guys in the NBA, the entire NBA can't handle him. It's so impressive to watch Zion get his shot. He's presently shooting 61% from the floor, which is 5th in the NBA. Think about that. 61%. This is a guy that's 6'7". I mean, if you want to look at Rudy Gobert, who's a 7-footer, that makes a lot more sense. But Zion, he's so powerful and agile when he gets in the paint that he blows by these bigger defenders, and he's so strong and finishes around the rim. It's just, he's only going to get better. He's only going to get more refined. It's why, if you're a Pels fan, there's so much reason to be legitimately pumped, because you've got two legitimate All-Stars in Zion and B.I., and you've got your core two that you can build around. Now, it's on this organization not to screw it up. You had it before with AD and with Drew, and Del Demp screwed it up. Now you got Griff, and he's trying to do it a different way, and we'll see if he can. But it's just so much fun watching Zion right now. The Pels play tonight. They're back at home against Detroit. Detroit on the second of a back-to-back. Was a winner last night in Orlando. By the way, that was one of the Scone Cold locks that I gave you was Detroit against Orlando. But this is a really tough spot for the Pistons. Having traveled to Orlando, played last night, you hop on a flight to New Orleans. Now you got to play tonight at 7 o'clock while the Pels are going to be rested. I like New Orleans. The Pels are about a 9-point favorite in this ballgame tonight. Incidentally, you can hear it on our New Orleans affiliate, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans, the flagship for the New Orleans Pelicans. But a nice opportunity for the Pels to inch closer to 500 tonight if they can get this win over the Pistons in a game where they're favored. The Pels are 13-17 right now, only Houston trailing them in the Southwest standings. And I'll continue to say it. I laughed a little bit with the way I said it last week, which is like, this is like watching youth league sports where you don't really care if the team wins. You just want to see your kid hit a double off the wall. You don't really care if they win. You just want to see your kid drain the three from the top of the key. That's kind of how I am with the Pels, man. I just have no expectation for this team. They're just so much fun to watch. Yeah, it's maddening, but it's like, get really pumped with the good stuff and kind of ignore the bad stuff because that's going to come with growing pains. Like the game they lost over the week, or the rally against Boston was awesome. The game they lost last week against Portland was really disappointed because Dame Lillard made a play late and the Pels just weren't in a great offensive set to make a play to win it late. So you just kind of let that roll off, understanding what the expectation for this team should be right now. But Zion's an all-star, and that should be a great thing for a lot of Pels fans to latch on to right now, to realize the guy who came in with this enormous billing is living up to that billing in the same way that Anthony Davis lived up to that billing. But AD was injury-prone, obviously, and they never really surrounded him with enough to win at an elite level. Let's hope it's different with Zion, but it's off to such a good start. And that news coincided with, I'm not sure if you saw it today, but the Rockets have released DeMarcus Cousins. They've waived Boogie Cousins. And man, I couldn't help but think today when I saw that, how different might this whole thing be had Boogie taken the deal New Orleans offered. Do you remember? In the 17-18 season, the Pels trade for Boogie. They go to the playoffs. They beat Portland. Obviously, he got injured in a game against Houston, but goes to the playoffs. And Boogie tears his Achilles, and he's out for the year. And he wanted a max deal, which nobody was going to give a 7-footer coming off an Achilles injury. But the Pels offered him 2 years, $40 million. And he turned it down. 2 years, $40 million, coming off an Achilles injury, turned it down. He did the Pelicans organization an enormous favor. Since then, Boogie went to Golden State, tore his quad. Remember, he was on a minimum deal, tore his quad. Then he goes to the Lakers. And before he ever suits up for the Lakers, he tears his ACL, never plays a game in Los Angeles. And now he goes to Houston, and he was not pleased at all. Veteran minimum, $2.3 million, veteran minimum. And wasn't pleased with his role backing up Christian Wood, who leads the team in scoring and rebounding, asked for his release, and they gave it to him. So now he'll get a chance to go sign somewhere else. But how different might the entire landscape be? The Pelicans, for Boogie Cousins, for the NBA, if he had taken that 2-year, $40 million deal. Because if he had taken that 2-year, $40 million deal, I'm not saying that keeps Anthony Davis in New Orleans. It probably doesn't. But it probably means the Pelicans don't get the first overall pick. They don't get Zion Williamson. So where are you? Those 2 years would be up, but you're left with a broken down Boogie Cousins. You don't have Zion or Brandon Ingram. Maybe you have BI because you still would have done the AD trade. But it's kind of that butterfly effect question that we often have sometimes with the Drew Brees question and with Nick Saban. You know, what if the Miami Dolphins doctor hadn't failed Drew Brees on the physical and Brees went to Miami? Does Saban stay in Miami? Does Saban win Super Bowls with Drew Brees in Miami? Who do the Saints turn to? Is it Dante Culpepper? How does that go? How many directions might the organization have changed since? There's that butterfly effect, right? I'm not saying that this would have had that effect, but it would have been to some degree similar, where dominoes that fell after Boogie turned down that deal would have looked a lot differently. So in some respects, I hate it for Boogie that he's been injury prone and passed on $40 million. Not to say he didn't make a ton of money already in his years in Sacramento, but glad he didn't, because it gave the Pels the opportunity to build what they're building right now, which we hope is really exciting. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here, as always. Love telling you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com for South Point Volkswagen. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online. So you can shop online. You can work out financing online. It's all there for you at South Point Volkswagen. So no matter where you are in the state, if you're thinking about a Volkswagen, if they can make a better deal for you, isn't it worth the drive? South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. Shop them online at southpointvw.com. Go to test drive the brand new Atlas, the all-new Volkswagen Atlas. I drive an Atlas. My wife drives an Atlas. Go in our garage. We got 2 Volkswagen Atlases. I'm a believer. We drive Volkswagen vehicles. Have since I started endorsing them a decade ago. South Point Volkswagen. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, y'all. It's after further review. Wilson Alexander about 35 minutes from right now from Lafayette as the Tigers and Cajuns are getting set to play some baseball. When we come back, though, former Saints assistant and former Saints interim head coach, longtime NFL assistant Rick Venturi, who's now doing work with the Colts Radio Network, is going to jump aboard with us. Stick around here on AFR.
AFR.
So I mentioned tonight LSU, ULL in baseball. Need a place to watch? Get by Pluckers. Either location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out. If you need a place to watch LSU baseball all season long, Pluckers will have every baseball game on all season long. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in, carry out. Spring is an awesome time. You got basketball in full swing. You got LSU baseball cranking up. You got LSU gymnastics cranking up. Of course, we're heading into the crazy offseason for NFL and college football. You need a place to watch all your sports action, eat wings, drink beer. It's at Pluckers. Again, 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Ice cold draft beer, full service bar. Pluckers has also purchased the Air and Surface Pro, the air sanitizers, air and surface sanitizers that I've told you about from mycleanliving.net. So when you walk in there, you can be comfortable and confident that you are in as clean a dining experience as you could possibly have. It's at Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital. auctioneer.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So my good friend Mike Detillier put a little bug in my ear and said, Matt, you should talk to Rick Venturi. I said, Mike, I'd love to talk to Rick Venturi. I grew up watching all those Saints teams, and Rick was a Saints assistant for so many years, from 96 to 2005. Was the interim head coach after Jim Mora was let go. Became a DC as well, was part of that sort of vagabond Katrina team in 05. Mike said, now look, Rick's a great storyteller, and he's a great guest. You got to get him on. I said, absolutely. So contacted Rick Venturi, and I'll be damned. He's good enough to join us on the show right now from Indianapolis. Rick, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for a couple of minutes. How are you?
Oh, Matt, thank you. It's an honor to be on with you guys. My favorite place there. I went there on a one-year deal and spent 10 years there, and absolutely, Sherry and I still kind of consider it home.
Man, you were here for so long, and through really transitional and formative years in the franchise as well, though, when you consider going from Mora to Ditka, then to Haslett, the first playoff win. Rick, I feel like I could just sit here and talk to you about Saints history, but, can I ask, do you have that memory, the moment? Is it the 2000 playoff win? What is the moment that stands out the most when you think about my time in New Orleans is boom?
Yeah, that's you hit it. There's probably two things that stand out the most. Out of nowhere in 1996, I had just gone with Jim there at the end, and to be named interim head coach of the Saints after being on the job for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever it was an honor beyond what I could tell you, to be honest with you. From that day on, Sherry and I just fell in love with the place. But there's no question in terms of that ride in 2000 when Jim took over and Randy Mueller, they took over a 3-13 team that was really a disaster and had one of the real magical seasons that we had. We put it together without almost any draft choices. It was just an amazing ride. Everything came together, and then winning that first playoff game in franchise history, it doesn't probably mean as much now, obviously, with all the success that Sean and those guys have had. But at that point in time, it was a fantastic moment. I still have the picture of myself with Tom Benson right here on my desk in the locker room after the game, and that was just that whole season was just a phenomenal ride, Matt.
Hey, Rick, you always remember your first time is the first thing I asked you about. Don't think Saints fans have ever forgotten Hakeem drops the ball and Brian Milne. It's looking, and having played the Rams and lost the week before in Week 17. Look, fans remember it, Rick.
It was incredible. We come out of that loss. Into the Rams, and if you remember, it seemed like a meaningless game going in. Marshall Faulk just killed us that day. I don't even know we were into it, and then all of a sudden, right after the game, about a half hour later, we find out that we've got to play the Rams again in 6 days. And I'll never forget it. Before the drop, we were just struggling. We started out that game, that first half, we just dominated them. I think it was something like 28-7. We dominated that playoff game, and then Warner got hot, and then we started making mistakes, and we had fumbles, and we just wore out. Really, 6 quarters of chasing that greatest show on turf around, we were worn out. And I'll never forget, we're going down to the wire, and Jim Haslett calls me in the press box, and he goes, "Rick, what the hell are we going to do? And I remember, and honest to God, Matt, I remember saying to him like it was yesterday, Jim, you better make some first downs because we're done, And you're exactly right. With 2 minutes to go, I would have had my heart in my throat. And when Milne got that, when he recovered that fumble, Hakeem drops the ball. Yeah, that's an all-timer right there.
Rick, if not to be the wet blanket, but if there's a counter moment to that, it has to have been the 05 season. Post-Katrina, obviously it was a vagabond season. Yeah, just go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it was just incredibly bad. In our case, it was an impossible situation. In our case there, everyone tried to do their best, but I thought it kind of brought out the worst in everyone right there. And there became a schism there between Jim and Tom, and all of a sudden it just went from bad to worse. I can't express to you what it was like on a daily basis, but it just didn't end well, and I don't think it really had to be that way. But it is what it is, and it's a results game. And like I said, they got crosshaired on that over there in San Antonio, and the result was what it was. I know myself. I had planned to live in New Orleans the rest of my life, and but then when we didn't have the option, we had to look onward, and that's when I ended up going to St. Louis.
Did you ever think, and I promise it's not going to be all nostalgia, there's some current, Rick works on the Colts radio network right now, there's some current NFL stuff I want to delve into, but could you have ever imagined leaving the Saints after 05, which was just such a disastrous year for every reason, personally and professionally, football and just the city and everything? Could you have ever imagined that the Saints would win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's interesting because I think what's lost in the Katrina season is that Jim really did a pretty good job there. I mean, I think he had one losing season. We had a couple of 8-8s and 9-7s, and didn't measure up to that first year. And I think when you have that great first year and you don't measure back up, you're always a disappointment. But in my heart, until the Katrina season, I always felt like we would definitely contend and we could be there. And then, we kind of struggled. And Aaron Brooks, he had played well for us early and then really struggled. And I always felt like, if we can just, weather this storm, get back to New Orleans, get ourselves a quarterback. And I told Jim that when he was getting crosshaired with Tom, I said, we go back to New Orleans, we'll get this thing done. You'll be able to get a quarterback and we'll move on. So I had never, ever looked at it from that negative standpoint, but there is no question what Sean Payton has done there. I mean, that whole operation, that's one of the most successful operations in all of football. And, other than a freak or a bad call, really this team should be in about probably the last 2 out of 3 Super Bowls. So it's become a really good program. Now the jury will be out once that Drew Brees ends up calling it a day, because as good as the team is, you can't lose a Hall of Fame guy and not pay some consequence.
Rick Venturi is our guest. Staying as close to the league as you are, what is your thought on a guy like Jameis Winston, who apparently is going to be, the short term anyway, successor for Drew Brees?
Well, he's probably with the most perfect coach. I always and the other thing I think that has transitioned with the Colts, with the Saints, and I make that mistake all the time here to tell you the truth. But the Saints, now play very good defense. For many years there in Brees' early careers, every game was a shootout, and if they needed 44, they'd get 44, and they may give up 43. But that's changed in the last couple of years. I think, their defense is very formidable, very stout, so I don't think you need 44. And the biggest thing that Sean will have to do with Winston, and I have a lot of confidence in Sean. I always said that my dear wife, Miss Sherry, I always said if Miss Sherry was his quarterback, he'd figure out a way to get 20. But I think the biggest thing with him will be to get Winston to play within himself. He's always been a guy that overreached, that tries to make every play, tremendously talented kid, can put up big numbers offensively. And I think the biggest chore that Sean will have is to extract the immense talent he has, but get him to cut down on the mistakes, get him to not be in that mood that he has to win with every throw. Because I think Jameis is a tremendous athlete, and I think he's a much better leader than people think in that locker room. So, that is going to be really interesting. That's kind of a reboot. We're going through the same thing with this, with this Carson Wentz. We got a kid with great talent who has done it, and now we have to see if we can reboot him after the 2020 season.
I was going to ask, I'd be remiss if I didn't, about the move, which is, obviously the Goff and Stafford trade. Aside from that, Carson Wentz going from Philly to Indy, the biggest move this offseason. Is it, I don't know, Rick, if it's just wishful thinking there in Indy, but with the Reich and Wentz reunion, it feels right. What's the feeling there?
Yeah. There's a lot of I would say optimism and enthusiasm because of that, and even myself, who's a football geek and not just a fan. I mean, I think one of the principles of making this deal was the fact that you're reuniting, Carson with Coach Reich, who was there when he was drafted, who oversaw what was Carson Wentz's great year in 2017 when he threw for 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Carson Wentz is the guy with immense talent. If you really look at him, and Detillier, I could shake him up on this one, but if you pull out their combines, he's very Andrew Luck-like in that metrics and style and skill set is very close. I mean, they're both real smart guys. And they're big physical guys, 6'5", 240. They can throw, they can really run, and he did that early. I mean, he really showed that, and then hit the wall in 220 as the team hit the wall. But he has the tools, Matt, and he can do it. He has done it, and that's what I like. And so we're talking reboot here. And if you remember, you may or may not remember, it was really big here, of course, a year ago when we did Phillip Rivers. I mean, a lot of people were ambivalent about that because Rivers was coming off a terrible 219, but he had a really good 218. And, of course, Frank had coached him in San Diego, and so we saw what the quarterback whisperer did with him and how he took the bad parts out of his game, and we became a instant contender again. So I think the feeling here is that we can do it. The price was right. I mean, we gave up a 3, for goodness sake. So, we maintain our 1 and 2 with a team that is a dead contender, so we can still fix things with the 1 and 2. And if the conditional 2 becomes a 1 next year, what that's telling you is really that Carson is alive and well and playing really good here, and a low 2 is not going to bother us for a quarterback who's 28 years old, who you could have for a long time, and it's actually at a reasonable price. So, he's coming to a team that is literally a solid playoff team. They didn't limp in. As a matter of fact, take away the 2 minutes before the first half at Buffalo, and they really, I think, were as good a team.
They were better than Buffalo. They should have won the game.
You should have heard me on the air. Oh my God, I almost lost my job in that last 236 because I can't help it. I still do the games like I coached them. So, but the price was right. He's coming to like I said, a franchise that has a really good offensive line. They have a young running back who has boundless ceiling, formidable defense, and you're coming to a city. If you know Indianapolis, it's a Midwest kind of homespun, kind of that with a Midwest hospitality. It's not a harsh media, so people are here with really open arms. Which is exactly what this kid needs right now, along with Frank Reich. But like I said, I think there's a lot of optimism, and I think the other thing, and this isn't mentioned too much, but the Colts and the Saints are very much alike now. There is no rebuild. There's no rebuild in New Orleans. There's no rebuild in Indianapolis. We just don't use those terms in those franchises. And I think by making this move and making it aggressively, and sure, there's risk involved, but I think Jimmy Irsay, our owner, and Chris Ballard basically have sent a message to Colt Nation, but more important, the Colt locker room, that, we have franchise momentum now, and we're not going to go backwards. We're going to go forward with this. So, like I said, I think everything is aligned extremely well here for Wentz if he can come in and reboot it and get going.
Hey, Rick, I had money on the Colts against the Bills. So missing the field goals, the 2-point conversion, going for it at the goal line. Trust me, I was right there with you, brother, for a different reason.
Oh, my God. And, we 2:36 to go in the first half. We got a first and goal. We're going to go up 17-7. Buffalo is not confident. They're not a long-time winner. I mean, we got everything going. The next thing you know is 4th and 4. We don't kick the field goal. And then to add insult to injury, they go 96 yards. And all of a sudden, they walk off the field like world beaters. And, if I was down there, I'd have gone over to Mittendorf's and had some Jack's beer and some doggone catfish.
Rick Venturi, Rick, I could talk to you for another hour, man, but I'm just going to say thank you. I appreciate you being so generous with your time, and we got to do this again.
Okay, Matt, anytime.
All right, it's our pleasure. That is our Rick Venturi, former Saints assistant, now the color analyst on the Colts radio network. Some great perspective, great memories about his time in New Orleans and obviously the current NFL. I wanted to get to Urban Meyer and Jacksonville is still in that division, challenging Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. So we'll get Rick back, and we'll do all that. But, man, what a great, fun conversation from a guy that was with the Saints for so many years, for a decade. You just, certainly remember coming up, and Rick Venturi was just a mainstay on those staffs for Mora and for Ditka and then Hazlitt. So appreciate a couple of minutes there with Rick Venturi. Many thanks to Mike Detillier, who helped to set that up with Rick. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Pluckers. Final break here of hour number 2. Brain has Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com. Time and again, you end up hearing so many positive things and so many great reviews from their customers at River City's 1 Hour Air. This one came in, which said, due to the horrid freeze, not only did we lose electricity, but into day 3 of sub-freezing temps and a lot of ice everywhere, our heater blower motor decides to burn out on our 8-year-old unit. JJ was here quickly, checked the unit, went to get the new motor, installed it, and we were back into business with hot air in no time. I highly recommend River City's 1 Hour Air. You've got one totally satisfied customer. Another Google review about River City's 1 Hour Air. They're not unique. You hear them all the time. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 a month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. As always, we appreciate Stevie Levy, the king of the wing, over at Pluckers. Need a place to watch LSU and ULL tonight. They'll have every LSU baseball game on TV all year long at both Pluckers locations. Right now, Brain has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Ben Simmons is an all-star. The former Tiger, known for his three-point shooting prowess, was named an all-star reserve today. Or was it today or last night when they were actually named?
Last night.
Last night. By the way, speaking of last night, 15 points and 15 points and 9 boards for Ben Simmons. He also had 7 assists, and in keeping with tradition, did not attempt a three. You know he's going to take like 30 of them in the All-Star game.
I don't think so. Just not his MO. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Skylar Mays got 5 points in 12 minutes of play last night. Mays also got 2 assists and a steal.
Oh, boy. This guy.
Speaking of 5 points, 5 points in 15 minutes for Naz Reid. Naz also had 7 rebounds and an assist.
They stink.
Yeah?
I'm off them. Last 2 times they gave out the Wolves as a lock, they blew it in the last 30 seconds of the game. Sunday they were tied with 12 seconds to go. They lost by 4, and I gave them out +3.
Wasn't last night Chris Finch's first game?
Yes.
Might give him a little bit of...
No, without he went the coach. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking Sunday. Sunday I gave him.
Yeah.
I don't care about last night. Sunday I gave him.
Okay.
I didn't give him yesterday. Sunday I gave him. And then the time before... Wait, did I give him yesterday? I did...
No, you did not. And I remember this because there were no former Tigers.
Kings played the Nets last night, and they were tied with like 4 minutes to go and then lost by 10. We had them +6. Blew it. Sick of them. But we did win with the Pistons. Pistons won outright. Money line.
Checking in on Tigers in spring training. Today I got a look at the Seattle Mariners roster and found Jake Fraley is on the 40-man.
Oh, that boy.
Yeah. And that's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Kentucky's Best Hemp. Oh, I forgot to get you your bourbon-flavored CBD. It's upstairs. I have it. They sent me a little case of it. Kentucky's Best Hemp. They have all-natural CBD. You can save 30% at the website when you use the promo code AFR30, AFR30, AFR30. They've got some great items there at Kentucky's Best Hemp. They even have great apparel if you want shirts or sweatshirts. But honey sticks, gel caps, gummies, they got it for you. They got little pineapple chunks. It's all there. The fruit chunks, salve, oil, cream. It's Kentucky's best hemp. Online at promo code AFR30. Online at
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Kentucky's best hemp. All right, it's after further review. Brain, you want to get us a check on the poll question?
Happy to get you a check on the poll question. See the Citizens Bank poll question of the day?
Yeah.
Who will get more hits in Lafayette tonight? LSU Tigers or former LSU Tigers?
Why are you going to go do that, huh? Why would you go that direction? Because you know what's going to happen. People are going to assume that's me putting up the question. You'll be like, Scone, you're just a jerk.
I don't know why.
Why do you hate everything?
You just answered your own question. That's exactly why I went that direction.
Well, I hate you very much then. It's very rude that you would do that, and you know what the reaction is going to be to that. And I'm going to get called in. Gordon's going to be like, hey, man. It'll be like, hey, look, we got a call about you with the poll question.
You've been working on that Gordy impression.
Could you, look, man, look, just take it easy on him, if you would. All right. We'll get caught up on a few things.
Right now, 76% of respondents say current LSU Tigers will have more hits tonight.
C.J. Willis and Brennan Bro, a couple of former Tigers, play for the Cajuns. They'll be out on the field tonight. Actually, we're going to go to Lafayette right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
And I have to remind you about the aesthetic medicine and anti-aging clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online, theantiagingclinics.com. I'm doing Ideal Protein right now. Weighed myself yesterday. Actually, this morning, down to 209. Started at 227. I'm just a hair under a month in. No, I'm sorry, I'm right at 4 weeks. Right at 4 weeks, I'm already down 18 pounds from 227 to 209. So I'm pumped. If you want to hit your weight loss goals, man, that you will lose the weight fast. The food tastes good. I'm not hungry. It's a great way to do it. And they'll hold your hand all the way through the process at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Body contouring. Look, laser hair removal. If you got hair on your back, we're getting near spring. We're getting near beach season. Laser hair removal treatments, get them set up right now. Knock that out. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online, theantiagingclinics.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Corolla for $235 per month. That's right, $235 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Sean Ryder. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office says that Tiger Woods was not drunk or impaired at yesterday's serious single-car crash and that it was purely an accident. The golf legend needed multiple surgeries on his right leg. ESPN injury expert Stefania Bell says that it will take months for Tiger to recover.
The first thing is to monitor for infection. You know they would have cleaned the wound. They put him on antibiotics, and they'll monitor his response. But there could be other soft tissue injuries elsewhere. And when you look at the big picture, it's really hard to make a projection at this point because this alone with the lower leg, we're talking months, not weeks. And you don't know what else he has to deal with as well.
Tiger Woods was awake, responsive, and recovering in his hospital room after yesterday's surgery. Buccaneers GM Jason Light said today that he and head coach Bruce Arians would be elated if they could get a deal done with Tom Brady to keep the quarterback in Tampa Bay beyond his 2-year contract, which will end after the 2021 season. Brooklyn star Kevin Durant out for his 6th straight game with a strained hamstring, where the Nets take on the Magic tomorrow night in Brooklyn.
We're back on Thursday, and it is best and worst case scenarios for two teams on opposite ends of the AFC spectrum. We'll tell you why best case for the Texans is actually trading their franchise quarterback, Keyshawn J. Will and Zubin, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
Hump day.
Baseball in Lafayette.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We're going there in just a minute.
It's hump day.
But first, I got to yell and hump.
Hump day.
If you missed Rick Venturi last hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Man, was he good.
It's hump day.
Akeem dropped the ball.
Hump day.
The 05 season.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Interim coach when Morla got fired.
It's hump day.
Great stories.
Hump day.
Great memories.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Great guy.
It's hump day.
Called it his great honor to be on this show.
Hump day.
Rain, has anyone called it a great honor to? Isn't it the first time ever when someone has called it a great honor to be on this show?
It might be.
I think Rick Venturi is my new best friend.
Not just buds.
No, not just buds. Besties. Will Wade and I, buds. Rick Venturi and I, besties. I don't know where that leaves Wilson Alexander, but somewhere on that spectrum. But he's good enough to join us right now from Lafayette, covering LSU, ULL, from Teague Moore there on the campus of the Raging Cajuns. Wilson, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm good. It's a great honor to be here.
Thank you. Hi, he's number 2. We got number 2. Yeah! Dynamite drop in there, Wilson. Okay, so let's talk about tonight's ball game. First things first, LSU's first road game, a scene setter. Normally when the Tigers play there at the Cajuns, the place is packed. What's it going to be like tonight as far as fans and environment?
Yeah, a really reduced capacity, only season tickets, kind of like you have at LSU, but it's obviously a smaller venue. And then you got a midweek atmosphere is usually a little bit lighter as well. Strange kind of weather. It looks like it could rain. Pretty heavy clouds, but there's not really rain in the forecast. It'll be a bit of a subdued atmosphere, but still, pretty lively considering the opponent.
What do we know about this ULL team?
Not a whole lot so far, obviously, because it's early in the season. Probably about as much as you know about, LSU. They're 3-1. They've got C.J. Willis and Wes Toops, some LSU transfers who are on the LSU's team last year. C.J. is starting at first base and is batting about 500 right now. They've gone into extra innings a few times with Tulane. Had some low-scoring games, but they should be competitive and good like they usually are.
LSU is going to start Garrett Edwards tonight. Any idea from Maneri how deep into the game they want him to go?
They would like for him to go 5 innings.
Okay,
of course,
wow.
It's hard to see if he could, really do it. But Paul said they don't really have a rein on him tonight. He's pitched deep during scrimmages, and he's got a sort of that whip-like arm. He can go pretty far in this game if he's able to pitch well enough to do so.
So they'll let him go 5 if he can go 5. Who else do they expect to be available, or who would they like to get work from this evening?
Yeah, Maneri mentioned 2 guys. Will Helmers, as everyone probably saw at third base originally, he's really a pitcher, and they're getting him back on the mound after that not-so-great experiment with him at third base. And so he could get some relief innings tonight. And then Devin Fontenot, they'd like to be able to use him as well, hopefully protect a lead there. He could go 2 innings because he hasn't pitched since Saturday. Other than that, they've got a pretty deep bullpen. A lot of guys available tonight.
What are they going to do in center?
I would expect Mitchell Sanford. We haven't gotten the lineup just yet, but because Will Stafford injured his hip just a few days ago and it was still stiff yesterday, they'll probably go with Sanford.
All right, so no lineup posted yet. If they go Mitchell Sanford in center, any other lineup changes that we might expect today?
I really wouldn't expect much. Jordan Thompson will probably be over there at third base. Maybe they make a change at shortstop, but Zach Arnold's been hitting the ball so well, and they would like to be able to see him actually make some plays at shortstop. He just hasn't gotten anything hit at him yet, and those are really the only question mark spots coming into the year. They took out Alex Milazzo early in Monday's game, so I would expect him to be well rested and ready to go tonight. And other than that, I wouldn't expect much different.
You alluded there to Safford having a hip injury. I know Maneri updated Gio, said it might be a few weeks. What about Safford? What's going on there?
Yeah, he ran into Gavin Dugas in batting practice on Monday. He was slated to start that game, and they were going after a fly ball, both of them, and Safford didn't call him off loud enough, and they ran into each other and collided. And initially it seemed okay. It was something that sort of played in slow motion in front of Maneri, and he was like, oh, no. And then they came off the field, and Will couldn't swing. His hip was so stiff, and it still was stiff yesterday, and that's why I would expect Sanford to get the start today.
Okay. So LSU, ULL, first pitch less than an hour from right now from Teague Moore, Wilson Alexander. They're covering to make sure you're following them on Twitter and read about it in The Advocate at theadvocate.com. Always appreciate it, man. Thanks for a couple of minutes. Our great honor.
Thanks, Matt. Have a good day.
I think I beat him to the punch the last time. We appreciate Wilson. How about Wilson with the little drop? By the way, Brain, you probably don't know this, but there's a Wilson drop somewhere in the system that every time I reset, it's Tom Hanks from Castaway yelling Wilson.
I'll look for it.
So I think that was probably a Musso thing, but I would like for that to carry over.
Okay.
Especially because Wilson, it fits.
Gotcha.
And I don't have Todd Peterson anymore. Because Todd Peterson doesn't play.
Chad Peterson. Chad Peterson.
How many people do you think are like reaching for the radio going, oh, not this again?
I think everyone's on board. Everyone.
No, that's not true. Because some people text me. By the way, you can text me. 396-4400. 396-4400. And sometimes people are like, I hate the Todd Peterson thing.
Chad Peterson.
How can you hate the Todd Peterson thing?
Chad Peterson.
It's not allowed.
Hating Todd Peterson?
Correct.
Chad Peterson.
I love Todd Peterson.
Chad Peterson.
And Wilson Alexander.
Chad Peterson.
I don't know where it's at yet. I haven't had a chance to look.
I'll tell you what. If you hate the Todd Peterson drop,
Chad Peterson,
text me right now on the 225-396-4400. 396-4400. 396-4400. If you love the Todd Peterson drop,
Ted Peterson.
Text me right now in the 225. 396-4400. Chris Dake loves the Todd Peterson drop.
Ted Peterson.
Raymond Moore said, give me more Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
Cameron Cook, the Todd Peterson drop is my favorite.
Ted Peterson.
Jamie Hodges, Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
Ricky Compton, is Murray present?
Murray, present.
Got him. Reese Menard said, do the Hey Twitter World drop.
I don't have that one loaded either, though.
That's OJ.
Yeah. Musso's got a page that, like, all of the buttons, there's so many on there, you can't tell what anything is, but he's got the whole thing memorized.
I'm excited to see Garrett Edwards tonight. 5 innings would be awesome. 6'5", strong arm. This is a ULL team that has 3 former Tigers. I mean, I mentioned Brennan Bro and C.J. Willis, but Wilson just reminded us Wes Toops is on that team as well. So you got 3 former Tigers on this ULL team. Let's see if Edwards can go on the road. You know, a Class B small school guy, got his first taste of college baseball over the weekend. Faced 3 hitters, 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts, looked awesome. Let's see if he can extend into a ball game tonight on the road when you're going to have people not cheering for you. I really do love LSU leaving the box in these midweek opportunities. It's just because there's such good baseball played in the state. At ULL and at Southeastern and at Nichols and at UNO and Tulane, and there's just such good baseball in the state. I love them leaving to go play at these other parks where it's going to be a little bit of a hostile environment. You know, you walk a guy, you put 2 on, the crowd gets rowdy, you're kind of getting some pressure on you. How do you react? You never know that. Well, you're going to face that night in, night out in the SEC. Go experience it now. All right, the first pitch 48 minutes from right now. If you're in Baton Rouge, you can hear it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Pels play tonight. If you're in New Orleans, you can hear that on our affiliate, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans. Pels hosting the Pistons. So full slate tonight. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. I say oftentimes that sometimes you are my best eyes and ears, and I mean that sincerely because there's a lot of times you hear or see things that I don't. Somebody sent me something today, and apparently there is a feeling among Tennessee fans that Rohan Davey's mother, I'm not kidding, is the cause of Tennessee's nearly 2-decade malaise in football. Ro's going to join us to address this next. I'm not even joking. You'll hear the audio from a Tennessee fan, and Ro will join us next at AFR.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban is always a great option. Essen near Perkins, voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 Awards. And from our friends at Ichiban, their newest concept is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. Authentic Japanese ramen with handmade noodles, broth that takes 30 hours to prepare. The bones melt, they disintegrate into the broth. That's how long it takes to go through this process. This is an experience. They have live music. They have happy hour every day at Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. There's an indoor-outdoor vibe to it. The bar vibe's so cool. You can eat indoors or patio dining. It's spacious, and you can walk right down the hall into Sweet Things, an attached dessert shop, Japanese desserts. Trust me, if you have not yet tried Bo-Ru Ramen, their authentic Japanese ramen, their unique Asian cocktails, it's all at Bo-Ru Ramen.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at infinitydr.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So I often say to you that sometimes you are my eyes and my ears. I am constantly in tune to a lot of different things, but I can't always find and see everything that is on the entire internet. Well, today, someone texted me, and forgive me, this is buried under now like 10,000 text messages. Actually, you know what? I'm going to search the entirety of these text messages real quick. Let me see. Please come up. Please come up. Please come up. Nope. There. Man, sorry. I was going to try to give that person a shout out who sent this to me. Well, someone sent me a TikTok video and said, ask Roe if this is true. So there's a new TikTok. This is not a joke, by the way, in any way. There is a new TikTok trend of conspiracy theories. People are throwing out conspiracy theories. This is a legit video, which if you're watching, you'll see it. If you're listening, you'll hear. This is a TikTok video of a Tennessee fan laying out a conspiracy theory that involves our friend Rohan Davey. Give a listen.
A conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind.
In 2001, the top-ranked Tennessee Volunteers had to play a 9-3 LSU team in the SEC championship game. Early in the first quarter, LSU quarterback Rohan Davey was knocked out of the game. Rumor has it that Rohan Davey's mom put a Baton Rouge hex on Tennessee that would last up until, well, still going on. Since that time, they've had 9 losing seasons, only 3 seasons of double-digit wins, 1 SEC championship game appearance, and 5 head coaches. Do you believe in hexes? I don't know. But ever since 2001, Tennessee has been on the straight decline in football. And actually in almost every sport, going through numerous athletic directors, basketball head coaches, Lady Vols head coaches, baseball coaches. Do you believe in hexes?
So, we got to get the answer to this question. So we bring on our friend Rohan Davey. Ro, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's happening?
One point of clarification. The guy on TikTok there called Tennessee number 1. They weren't. Miami was number 1. Tennessee was number 2 that day. And, of course, I was in the Georgia Dome, and Tennessee fans all had orange roses because had they beaten LSU, they were going to the Rose Bowl to take on number 1 Miami for the national championship. And, boy, did I have fun stomping on a lot of roses in the concourse, running out of that place. Okay, now you didn't have as much fun because, your like spleen ruptured and all that stuff. Did your mother put a hex on Tennessee?
No, if she did, she didn't tell me about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If she did, she didn't tell me about it. She probably cursed them as far as, like, cursed them. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they never win another game ever, something like that. So if that was a hex, then that was a hex.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, though, would we be talking about my mama putting a hex on them if we weren't from the island?
Well, he said, here's my other point, okay? He said Rohan Davey's mom put a Baton Rouge hex. So I'm like, well, from Jamaica, grew up in Miami, played in Baton Rouge. Is he maybe confusing New Orleans voodoo?
Right. I think so.
Are there Jamaican hexes?
Well, I would say that there's that mystique of it all, of spirits and things of that nature. So, I mean, I can't say that I have not growing up, especially growing up in Jamaica early days and dealing with all the spiritual content from my grandmother and my grandfather. I mean, they definitely, cast out demons and cast out spirits and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know what my mama did.
Oh.
Dottie could cook up some remedies, man, and get you back on that court.
All right. So, no, here's my, important follow-up. I sent that to you earlier today and said, Ro, I need you to see this, and I want you to come on. Did you watch it earlier today, or did you just hear it for the first time?
No, I heard it for the first time. I watched it when you sent it.
Okay, you did see it. Okay, you did see it then. You didn't call your mom. You didn't call your mom and say, "Mom, is this true?"
Hell yeah, I sent it to my brother and my sister
okay.
and my mom. My mom ain't respond yet.
Oh no! Well, what did your brother and sister say?
They was dying laughing.
Is it? No, go ahead.
My sister was like, when did mommy do this? I don't remember. I said, you was little. I said, I don't remember this either. So she was trying to see was it possible, did it happen? My little sister was actually trying to see did it happen.
And your mom hasn't replied yet?
Nah, my mom hasn't replied.
Well, then, Ro, I mean, I would love to say that this is the definitive answer given by you, but I don't know that we can say that until your mom either confirms or denies it. So
yeah, I think she's gonna deny that. But I want to answer. I'll find out.
Educate me a little bit. You said there were spirits and she could cook up a remedy here or there.
No, I'm talking about like to cast out spirits. My mom and my grandfather and my grandmother, great grandmother, and my grandfather. Growing up in Jamaica with them, they believed they were very, very spiritual people. They believed in whether or not they saw angels, and everyone has an angel, everyone, that walks with them, and she would talk about seeing them, and just, some things that you wouldn't believe, you know what I mean?
Like what?
And even like growing up in Miami, man, dealing with, like, I'm Jamaican, but I had a bunch of friends that was like of Haitian descent or Bahamian descent, and I'm gonna tell you, I've seen the craziest damn things, such as seeing a 105-pound girl pick up like a 220-pound boy with just like one hand, pulling them up on the wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like some visual effects stuff from a movie.
Nah, it looked
maybe
like
she was an alien from the movie Men in Black. Maybe she was an alien disguised as a human.
It was that voodoo stuff from the Haitians. It was my partner Frank growing up, and something his dad and his family them was really in it. My mama wouldn't let me go over there. Hardly.
All right, so is
it? Because she knew it was going down, man. It was going down over there.
Is it possible that your mother could have put a hex on Tennessee without it being ceremonial? Like, does there? Because I think of like, okay, does there have to be smoke and oils and and other things like, or
chicken blood,
or could she just say, "I put a hex on you, Tennessee," as she's walking out of the Georgia Dome? Like, could she just say it?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. Huh. Man, this would have been so cool if she did. I was really hoping she did, because then we could claim.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna ask that.
Because then we could claim credit for ruining Tennessee for 20 years. I mean, that's some mega intense power, right? If you're a hex, it's almost like Beauty and the Beast. You put a spell on this dude. This dude turns from like a prince into a monster. Like, that's some awesome stuff. I mean, that'd be really cool if your mom could do that and it like ruined Tennessee for 20 years.
I think that'd be cool too. We could take credit for that, but definitely ask my mom.
Okay.
Did she do anything she hasn't told anybody about?
All right. Well, please report back to me whenever you talk to your mom.
I will.
I would really appreciate a follow-up, preferably in the next 30 minutes or so before I go off air. But if not, totally respect that. You know, your mom's got more important, more pressing things to do. But I'd really love some closure on this.
So what I told you, I texted to her earlier, like, what's going on here? Did we do this? I ain't got a response yet. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's like when you're waiting for a verdict in a courtroom, the longer it waits,
Well, actually, the longer they go, the more deliberation. If they come back quickly, it was an easy verdict. You're guilty. You're out. See,
not in Dottie's case, if it was no, it'd have been a lot quicker, man.
Ooh. I'm really excited about the prospects of your mom possibly putting a chicken blood, smoke and herb voodoo hex on the Tennessee Athletic Department 20 years ago.
We'll see.
Hey, man, do y'all have
I'm gonna let you know.
That's been 20 years. Do y'all have plans yet for the 20-year anniversary of that team?
And I don't know. COVID is crazy.
I know.
So I don't know.
All right.
We'll see. I hope LSU playing something.
I would hope so, too.
Hell.
I know, right?
That'd be nice.
You can wear your Davey's Disciple shirt out on the field.
You gonna wear yours?
Of course. Are you kidding me? I'll even go find the frat hat and the shaker that I had in my back pocket for every game. I'll recreate 01 Matty Moscona. Are you kidding? It'll be really vulgar. It'll be like whiskey and wine Matty Moscona, but I'll be that guy again.
That's all right. That's good too.
Fair enough. All right, Ro. A pleasure, man. All right, I just whenever you get something from your mom, you let me know, all right?
I got you.
All right, Ro. Thanks, man.
All right, partner.
All right, that is Rohan Davey. What did you think when you heard that on TikTok?
I think it's real.
Paulie, real or fake? This could be the poll question.
Should have been the poll, yeah.
Let's do another poll question.
Okay.
Citizens Bank poll question. Real or fake? Did Rohan's mom put a hex on Tennessee? Yes or no? Is the story about Rohan's mom putting a hex on Tennessee real or fake? Paul, real or fake?
It's got to be real.
Real. It's got to be real, doesn't it? Freak jury?
We can do a freak jury.
Do we have time to do freak jury?
Before the break, or you want to do it on the way back in?
Well, no. The momentum's gone after the break. Freak jury. All right, freak jury. Call me. 499-1045, 499-1045. Hex story, real or fake? 499-1045, 499-1045. We don't screen. All you got to do is just call and just say real or fake. That's all you got to say. Real, fake, real, fake, real, fake. 499-1045. I'm trying to fill till Brain finds the freak jury music. Hopefully it's coming quick because we got to start freak jury right now. I already said we're going too late. Any moment it'll have it. Anytime, whenever you're ready. Play the freak jury music, Brain. There we go. Thank you. Okay. A Tennessee fan has alleged that Rohan Davey's mother in 2001 put a hex on the entire Tennessee football program. Is the hex real or fake? What say you? Hex real or fake?
I'm a Tennessee fan. I
don't think he understands freak jury. I had to hang up on him, Brain. I don't care that you're a Tennessee fan. I mean, I am a little fascinated by it, but I don't want your story. It's freak jury. All you say is real or fake. I had to hang up on him, Brain. It's the rules.
I understand.
Real or fake? Real or fake?
Real.
Okay. Real or fake?
Real.
Real or fake?
Fake.
See, if it's me, if that's my baby who just had his spleen ruptured, spitting up blood, going to the emergency room, and I'm walking out there, you better believe I'm looking back. And it was a cheap shot, too, by John Henderson on the sideline. I'm going, heck's on you, Tennessee. If I had the power to do that, I'm doing it. Real or fake?
Real deal.
See? Real or fake?
Real.
Real or fake?
Real.
Overwhelming. Do you think this is just LSU fans wanting it to be real?
There's validity to this.
Okay. Real or fake?
Real.
I mean, you say there's validity, but it's been 20 years, and Rohan, the woman's son is one of my really good friends who comes on the show every week during the season, and he and I are really good friends, and he has never heard of this.
Here's the thing, though. Has he never heard of? Because you could hear how non-committal he was. I think I'd be on the phone with my mom immediately if this were the case.
That's what he said. He was trying to get in touch with her to see real or fake. You screwed up the bet again, didn't you?
It died on me.
Okay. It's real. All right. It's after further review. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. So the freeze is gone. The weather is thawed. The ground has thawed. Great time to plant something. But remember, in planting, if you notice weeds in your grass, Clegg's has the weed control cocktail. Ask about it when you get by any of their 4 locations. If you have weeds in your grass growing through right now, which always happens every spring, Clegg's Nursery can help you out. Go to any of the 4 locations. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. They've been around for more than 60 years. I tell you every single day when it comes to Clegg's to buy local and shop local and support a great local business that supported our community for more than 6 decades. If it's flowers or trees or plants or shrubs or seeds or weed control or anything you'd find at a True Value hardware store, make sure you go to Clegg's Nursery.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trust.
Life.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Scott McDaniel on Twitter said, in light of the recent conversation about Rohan's mom, I found this old picture of Rohan. It's Pedro Serrano in the locker room with Joe Boo right behind him. It's so good. Oh, man. Where would you rank the last segment in the Hall of Fame history of this show?
Well, the fact that you're asking makes me think you have it up there pretty high.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I really don't know. I mean, you think people like that or didn't?
It was good. I don't know if it's Hall of Fame. It was good, though.
You're not Hall of Fame.
Clearly.
You're fired.
Also.
Saints waived Nick Easton a couple of weeks ago. And according to Josina Anderson, he's got interest from 4 other teams. And one of them is the Saints, believe it or not. That was a salary cap saving move. A lot of the Saints to save $5-6 million. But they'd like him back at a lesser price. I looked at this 2 ways. I thought, do I want Nick Easton, the player? And the answer is absolutely, unequivocally, yes. I mean, they brought him in a pinch when Max Unger suddenly retired. And they just needed a guy, somebody. So they drafted Eric McCoy, and he ended up being the starting center. And Easton really struggled in the preseason that year. But when bullets started flying for real, and Andres Pete got injured, they kicked him, and Armstead got injured. They moved Pete to left tackle and put Easton in. Easton played really well. And then this past year, Cesar Ruiz didn't play well, and Easton wound up starting 9 times out of the 12 games he played in 2020. So do I want Nick Easton, the player, back? Absolutely. My fear is the concussions. When you have multiple concussions in the same season, that just worries me. The old cliche is true. The best ability is availability, and obviously there's a much higher priority, which is Nick Easton's health. This conversation, however, is more so just about on the field. And while, yes, I would love to have Nick Easton, I don't know that he's going to be able to finish a season. So that gives me a little bit of pause. I mean, do I want Nick Easton, the player? Yes, I do. Do I want Nick Easton, the player who's had a concussion history and might not be available? That's a much different question. But the Saints have got to get offensive linemen. Cameron Tom obviously went to Miami. Nick Easton's been cut as a cap-saving measure. Maybe he'll be back. And you feel like you know who your first 5 are going to be. And I really feel like James Hurst is going to be back because he proved to be a very valuable and viable backup that can play guard and tackle. But you're not going to cut it with 6. Will Clapp is there as well, and very likely an interior guy, but you need at least one more. So what direction do they go? Is it draft? Is it free agency? That's why this offseason is so interesting for New Orleans. Earlier in the week, we talked about a mock draft from USA Today that had the Saints taking J.C. Horn, the cornerback out of South Carolina, 28th overall. And I like that. Really, the idea behind that was just to show how it's unlikely a quarterback's going to be sitting there at 28 for New Orleans. If they want a quarterback, they're going to have to move into the top 15, and it might not even be the guy they want. More likely, the Saints would get a quarterback in round 2 or 3 somewhere later in the draft. And we went through it, and it was like, actually, a cornerback at 28 makes a lot of sense because Janoris Jenkins could be a cap casualty. P-Rob could be a cap casualty. P.J. Williams could potentially be. And, Marshawn Lattimore's facing a contract situation. So you really like Lattimore. I mean, you like the guys you have there now, but what's realistic? So maybe you need an inexpensive rookie option. And, I think we could do this exercise with multiple positions, including the defensive line, where, you got Cam Jordan and you got guys that played really well. David Onyemata is a guy you extended a year ago. But as you look at it, it's unlikely they're going to be able to sign Trey Hendrickson, and now Sheldon Rankins is hitting the open market. And Sheldon Rankins was a guest on SiriusXM and went through a lot of this. Can you play number 3, please, Brain? This was Sheldon Rankins talking about, the run he's had in New Orleans.
It's been an awesome 5 years with that organization. They're, top notch in every way, and they've done nothing but embrace me as a player, as a person. And, if that's the way it goes, that I'm not there anymore, it'll definitely be different. Obviously you build so many relationships and different things like that over the course of 5 seasons, ups and downs, all those battles you go to war with, those guys, so it'll definitely be different. But listen, in my 5 years down there, it was nothing but an amazing experience. Being able to build that, be a part of that, the build of that defense. I think when I first got there,
When he got there in 2016, they were laughingstock. One of the worst defenses in the league. And then they started a run of 55 consecutive games without allowing a 100-yard rusher. Now, the thing about Sheldon Rankins is, had his free agent year come after 2018 and he had never gotten injured, he might have had a huge payday. Sheldon Rankins was having a season in 2018 that was living up to his high draft position. He had 8 sacks in that season, and of course, tore his Achilles in the playoffs, in the divisional round. And then that, of course, is something that he had to overcome. And then he had ankle issues that he had to have a procedure. Then he had a knee injury that interrupted this past season. And it's just been one after another for Rankins. And it makes you look and go, is that a guy that the Saints realistically are going to be willing to invest money in? And what might he command on the open market? See, if the Saints end up losing Rankins in free agency, Malcolm Brown potentially as a cap casualty, Trey Hendrickson because they can't re-sign him, a strength of your defense may get a complete overhaul. So maybe you're looking defensive line early in the draft. Specifically with Rankins, though, I'll tell you, if you look at the top defensive tackle salaries in the NFL, Aaron Donald is at $22.5 million. DeForest Buckner is at $21 million. Chris Jones at $20 million. Kenny Clark at $17.5 million. Fletcher Cox, $17.1 million. Grady Jarrett's at 17. Cameron Hayward, 16.4. You understand, these are some of the elite defensive tackles in the NFL. I saw a list of the top 30 defensive tackles in the NFL, and Rankins wasn't on it. As a matter of fact, right now, he's paid as the 40th highest paid defensive tackle. Onyemata got 8.6 this past year. I don't know that I can justify paying Sheldon Rankins much more than he's getting right now, which is 3.2. A guy that's been injury prone and hasn't really lived up to his high billing. Where does he factor in? I mean, Vita Vea in Tampa is making 3.7. Rankins is at 3.2. I mean, it feels like that's probably about where he should be. So if he's willing to take something close to what he's getting now, okay. But this may be a situation where the market Sheldon Rankins thinks will be there for his services probably won't be there for his services. The Saints are a team that have tremendous talent. mean, Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, all pros. Ryan Ramchick, Teron Armstead, Marshawn Lattimore, Demario Davis is an all-pro. Cam Jordan has been an all-pro. Deontay Harris has been an all-pro. They got talent all over the field, but it might be one of those things where, yeah, those frontline guys, that handful, as 8-10 guys I mentioned, are all elite at their position. But what about the rest of your roster? Where's your depth? And this may be a year where the Saints just get incredibly younger like they did in 2017. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Been telling you all week about a new sponsor, Michelli Weighing and Measurement, since 1947. Incredible. Located in Harahan, nobody in the country sells more scales than Michelli Weighing and Measurement. It's their incredible story, and they're right there in Harahan, although they've got offices in nearly 30 offices in 11 different states. So what do they weigh and measure? Anything. This was a fun picture that I dug up from 2018 when Chef John Foles set the world record for the largest pot of gumbo. Guess who weighed and measured it to certify it for the world record? It was Michelli Weighing and Measurement. That was a fun sort of one-off. But really what they do, go to the website, Michelli.com. Michelli.com. Michelli. Michelli.com. They are ISO 17025 accredited, and they have a track system where you can get your certificate of accreditation online 24/7. So that helps with your productivity. You got a job that needs to start and you need that proof of accreditation, boom, it's available for you 24/7, so you don't have to wait on some supplier to get it to you. Go to the website, really all industries that you can imagine, Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli Weighing and Measurement, it's all there for you. Aerospace, agriculture, laboratories, chemical and petrochem, transportation, manufacturing, food and beverage, aggregates, energy. No matter what industry it is, if you weigh or measure something, Michelli can sell it, rent it, or calibrate it for you. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Great new sponsor here on AFR. Fantastic company. Awesome people that love to do face-to-face business. Check them out, Michelli.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We'll grab our final break of the show. When we come back, one thing left to do. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. Autolocks next on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org. One of the really cool things the Baton Rouge General is doing is normally every year they have a father-daughter dance. Well, they can't do that this year. So instead, they're doing what they're calling the Big Adventure, a father-daughter scavenger hunt all around Baton Rouge. So dads, daughters, you want to do something cool together where you could drive around town, be socially distanced, and still have fun together? Learn more. It's March the 7th, so it's coming up March the 7th. brgeneral.org/adventure. Again, it's called The Big Adventure, the father-daughter scavenger hunt, great prizes, all in conjunction with the Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org/adventure. brgeneral.org/adventure to get more info about the father-daughter scavenger hunt. Of course, Baton Rouge General Hospital, expanding healthcare in the greater Baton Rouge area. You can learn more about their locations, products, and services. It's all there at brgeneral.org.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Corolla for $235 per month. That's right, $235 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Can you feel it?
Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. We'll get to what we learned in just a second. Right now, what are we betting on tonight? It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, Otter. You let the masses down with your LSU pick last night.
Forget the other 2 out of 3 that hit. But,
I think you hexed them, Otter. You put a big old hex on them. That's what you did.
Hey, look! I have to give credit where credit's due. You were not completely sold. I provided some data that was actually special, and we're doing it. And they flipped the script on us, man.
Yeah.
That was their worst loss of the year against a team that was 93 NET, and it wasn't close. They never threatened to even get it to single digits the second half.
Yeah.
And I was bummed, man.
I was bummed too. That was a big one.
So, but the NET, they dropped one spot.
Yeah.
And that's because when they won on Saturday, they didn't move up. They stayed at 27, but they strengthened their position right there. So a little bit of a log jam right there. And they got to win at Arkansas, or they are 8-9 all the way.
Yeah. So. Well, they got an opportunity Saturday with a big one, but we'll talk about that coming up later. All right, what we got tonight?
All right, we put out this afternoon with Handy on a podcast, NC State. They already went. I apologize for that. At 5:30, coming in from the EJ JV game. So,
good, man.
Didn't catch you. Providence +2 against Xavier. Providence, nothing to be embarrassed about, losing to UConn when Book Night came back last Tuesday night. And, we'll point that home like the Friars against Xavier. Xavier's trying to get they're projected to be in the tournament right now. So taking the Friars +2 in that one. Tennessee Vandy at 8 o'clock in the SEC. Tennessee 5-5 their last 10, 3-7 against the spread. We're talking about one of my handicapping angles, taking teams that are playing at a higher level than their record. And that's classic Vandy. 5-1-1 against the spread their last 7. Heck, man, Kentucky, the game, and I gave you Vandy last Wednesday as well.
Yep.
And it pushed.
Pushed, right.
Kentucky hit a lot of shots. Kentucky played a good game, and Tennessee's not as good as Kentucky. We saw that on Saturday, and they're laying double the points. I mean, give me Vanderbilt +8, and we're going to ride the streak. We started it. I got 2 of them on your show. It's 3 in a row. But again, teams playing at a higher level than their record indicates. Miami's way better than 14-17. They started this streak in Sacramento. We had them there. We had them against Oklahoma City a couple of nights ago. Take them again. We're going to ride them till they don't lose. The Heat -2.5 against the Raptors.
All right. There you go. So Providence +2, Vandy +8, the Heat. What did you say, +2 and a hook?
Miami, the Heat is -2.5.
-2.5. Okay, Miami -2.5. So Providence, Vandy, and Miami are the plays. I don't have a lot tonight. I got a little one on the Hawks. I would say little one on the Hawks. Yeah, go ahead.
Hanny's here again. Who invited him? Huh?
I thought
he's following me everywhere.
I thought he was your Thursday guy.
He had to set up so I could go to the baseball game. We're kind of all over the place. We're basically Hanny and I TBD on a daily basis.
Understood. So, it's Otter, it's Hanny. They're the odd couple. They're always together. I actually really like the two of you together, so I'll probably listen to some of it.
Thank you. That warms my heart.
He's at Snow Seafood and Steak. Thank you, Otter. Y'all have a great show. Okay, Ray, what did you learn? Did he hang up or did you hang up?
No, he hung up.
He hung up. Okay.
Rick Venturi didn't mind driving out to I-55 for catfish.
Paul, what did you learn?
Walker Howard is now a 5-star.
What'd you learn, Matt?
Rick Venturi was honored.
AFR.
All right, we're getting on down the road. We remind you, he said it was his great honor to be on AFR, and I appreciate that. I love telling you about Relief Windows. It is actually my great honor to tell you about Relief Windows because they're an awesome company. ReliefWindows.com. Brandon Holly, Adrian Holly, two of my favorite people in the world that give me the great honor of endorsing their company and representing their brand every single day. And it is a special brand that they've built. And I know it might sound weird because you're talking about windows, doors, and siding, but they go into people's homes, your home and my home. And I've invited Relief Windows into my home so many times over the years. If it's replacing windows, replacing doors, different issues we might have had around our windows or doors, they're always who I call because every time they come, you know that someone is going to come, they're going to be on time, they're going to be polite, they're going to be great around my family, they're going to get the job done, I'm going to pay a fair price, and they're always accountable for everything they do. That's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Check them out online at reliefwindows.com. reliefwindows.com.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're